Hi everyone, it's Sarah here. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to look at whipped and woven embroidery stitches. So I'm going to show you on my little sampler here. We're doing this as a stitch along, as a little playlist. If you want to join in, it's not too late. We've been doing it since January, but you can join anytime you want to. I'll put a link to the whole playlist up at the end of this video, and you can start and stitch along with me, just learning lots of different embroidery stitches and doing it on a little sampler. I've also got a little slow stitch version here, so I'm going to demonstrate on this one, and then I'll show you some more samples of it on this one. So I'm going to show you two methods. We're going to whip a thread around some stitches, and we're going to weave a thread through some stitches. So you can either stitch these again and do it as a single stitch, or you can go back to your samplers or back to your pieces of embroidery and look and see where you've got some stitches that you can actually weave around as well, because this adds a really nice decorative effect to it. So I'm going to start with something super simple. I've got a running stitch here. I've also got a back stitch and I've got a chain stitch. So I'm just going to show you on those ones, but you can weave other stitches, but I'll show you the principle and then you can go and have fun seeing what else you can weave. So I'm just going to do it in a contrasting colour so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to, what should I do first? I'll do a whipped stitch first. When I say whipped, I'm going to whip a thread around the stitches. So these all stay on the top of the fabric. They don't go through other than where we start and we finish. So I'm going to use a different needle. I've got a tapestry needle. That's one with a blunt end used for counted work, so cross stitch and black work and white work counted techniques, because we don't want the thread to catch with the stitches on the top. So if you have got a blunt one, that's great. If not, just be extra careful, or you can use the eye of the needle, turn the needle round. So I'll show you what we're going to do. I'm just going to go around each of these stitches. So I'm going to whip it that way. Now when we whip, we go the same way each time. So I'm going underneath that one, I'm going to come back over the top, and I'm going to go underneath the same way. And you see, because I haven't got a point on my needle, it doesn't get caught in the thread. So it goes around the same way each time. Back over the top. So it kind of joins up those running stitches. So if you've got a running stitch and you want to make it a little bit more of a solid line, this is a really good way. Instant decorative effect. It looks really beautiful on it. And then when we get to the end, we can go back through to the back just to finish it off. It's that simple, but you can see how lovely that looks. So let's go back the other way and do a woven one. So I'm weaving in and out now, so I'm going to come from the opposite side each time. So I start the way I did with a whipped, I'm going to come underneath that, but I'm going to go back from the same side now with the next one. And weaving through those stitches. Don't pull these ones too tight because you lose the effect of that weaving. So back under from the same side each time. You can see that nice effect there. Take it through to the back just to finish it. So you get more of a wavy line with that one and more of a sort of candy stripe with that one. So once you've done a single one, you could also do a double one. So I'm going to weave again, so in and out from the same side, don't pull it too tight. Just do a little bit going this way. That beautiful wavy edge. Just cut those off out of the way. When you get to the end, rather than go down at the end, we're going to go back but the opposite direction. So now I'm going to go from this way, and you'll see what happens when I do that. We make a kind of a little chain stitch almost. But we do exactly the same as before, but now we're going from opposite sides. So we're sort of filling in the other side. A really lovely way of decorating those simple stitches. These two stitches, the running stitch and the back stitch, which I'm going to do in a second, are both on that playlist. So if you want to know how to do those, you can. And if you've done those and you want to jazz them up a bit, you can hop on and do some weaving and some whip stitches around them, because it's really lovely. Completely different stitch effect, like so. So you can do it around other stitches as well. So I've got a little chain stitch here that I can go around. This one looks really nice if you whip around it, and you can weave it. You kind of get like a double chain stitch, you get a really wide row. So if you want to thicken the width of your rope, if you want to cover a line maybe that doesn't come off, this is a good way of doing it. add in some extra stitches. So I'm whipping, so I'm coming back over the top and going in from the same side each time. Whip around that. You can use the same colour if you just want to make the stitch row a little bit thicker. I'm just doing green so you can see the contrast there. You could whip a gold thread around it, have a little bit of sparkles, all sorts of things you can do with this, and it's so simple as well. So that's what a whipped chain looks like. And I've also got a back stitch here, which is nice as well, so just a variation on the same thing. So weaving back and forth from each side like so, or you can whip and just go around it. You can see the two different ones and how they look next to each other. The whipping one is a much finer row, and then just take it through to the back to finish it off. So I'll just show you that on our little slow stitch handheld version if you're having a go at that one. Here's the same ones that I have done here. So here is a running stitch with a whipped around it, and variegated threads are really nice. So that's these threads that change colour throughout the thread. That can give you a little bit of interest as well if you want to add an extra little twist to it. This is the woven one here, in and out, in and out. This is the chain stitch with the double weaving to think about it now, so in and out that way, in and out back, and you can sort of see you get a little green edge to the purple and get some beautiful effects. So definitely worth trying some different colour combinations. This is the chain stitch that we have whipped around. This is a blanket stitch, and I can just whip around that bottom row there. So just have a look at your stitches and see how they're constructed. If there's something I can go round and round, then you can whip it or weave it basically, and just add another dimension to that. And I've done a little spiral here. We've done a lot of spirals in slow stitch in our slow stitch videos. I love doing a spiral, but look how beautiful it is if we just whip around that spiral. They're really, really lovely. So if you want to add extra to your slow stitch spirals, that's a beautiful way of doing it. And then we'll just have another look at a few more stitches I've got on here. So just have a look at your little samplers and see what you've got here. This is a little one we did with a running stitch with a little kind of leaves on it, so like a fern stitch I think this one is called, and we could just go around the stem of that and that would just make the stem stand out with the little stitches on the side. So you could go all the way down the centre of that one too. Got a fly stitch here. You could do the same with the fly stitches, you could go around the centre. So once you know the principle and how to do it, because it's dead easy, you can go and decorate all your other stitches as well and have fun playing with that. There are some more complex ones that you can do with weaving. I'm going to do those in separate videos because they've got a name of their own. Those stitches are called something different. But have a little bit of fun playing and see what you can do with your samplers. So if you're enjoying learning some new stitches, we've got loads more for you. If you check up here, that's the playlist for this project, for this slow stitch sampler project. But if you want to add even more stitches to it, you can check out our stitch library down here. Loads more stuff in there for you to have a little play with it and add to your stitch repertoire. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Give it a thumbs up as always. I'll see you next time.